Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria Simulator brought an end to Scott Cawthon's original story for Five Nights at Freddy's, with Ultimate Custom Night acting as a sort of epilogue. The game concludes with all of the key players, or probably all the key players, all being reunited in one final Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria due to an elaborate plan by Henry Emily and being burned, releasing all of the trapped spirits and putting everybody to rest. This burning actually took place underneath the Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place from Pizzeria Simulator, a place we actually get to visit in Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach and its DLC Security Breach Ruin. So, since we get to visit this network of vents, we actually get to see areas of this furnace network that we didn't get to see before. Yes, some things have been moved around, and the passage of time certainly has had an impact, but it is the same place, and because of that, we can still gather clues. One specific place I know a lot of people wanted to see is exactly where Henry was sitting in the final cutscene of Pizzeria Simulator, where he's like, I am close by. I will burn with you. You know, the Connection Terminated scene that everybody memes about? Well, getting to explore this entire labyrinth, we don't find it. We do find a hidden mysterious machine with a extremely dangerous animatronic sealed away down here, but nothing concrete about Henry Emily. So my fine friends, this brings me to the question of this video. Where exactly did Henry Emily die? Just real quick, we are really close to 4,000 subscribers on this channel, and it would be an honor to reach and surpass that milestone, so if you like what you see here and you want to see more, maybe subscribe, maybe, probably. I don't know. The only way to answer this question realistically is to assume that he didn't die in a place that we haven't seen, like a room we haven't seen or somewhere off connected to the labyrinth, but not any part of it that has been shown before. Something like an office, or he didn't even die, he faked it, or it was just the mimic talking. Nah, but it has to be a place that we've seen, at least for the purpose of this video, to speculate. Following this criteria, at best, I can find three possible options for where Henry ultimately passed away. Yeah, I don't really subscribe to this one, but it is interesting from a poetic standpoint that Henry is inside Lefty and he's going to bring himself and his daughter to the afterlife and be at peace. For anyone that doesn't know, Lefty was built for the specific purpose of capturing the puppet, which is possessed by Henry's daughter, Charlie. That's kind of where the logic of this idea comes from. Yeah, I'm not really feeling this one, but it could work for some people. And that's one way for him to be in the furnace. He's just in one of the animatronics. And I doubt he'd be in any of the other ones, so there's that. Imagine he's in Molten Freddy. He's downstairs in the M.X.E.S room. Yeah, I know that room is obviously not connected to the furnace, otherwise the M.X.E.S machine would have burned. We also don't see any evidence of burning in this room, or any sort of emitter where fire could be released, which is seen in other rooms, which further proves this notion that the room was untouched and avoided the burning. It does seem like a place where you could watch everything else that's happening, and there's no way he didn't know about the M.X.E.S room if he made this place his base of operations, so not to spoil John FNAF's recent theory about Secret of the Mimic, it kind of fits with the idea that Henry was very intimately aware of the M.X.E.S machine and the Mimic. So that theory could work with this one. And regarding avoiding the burning, maybe he was dying anyway? I feel like, if anything, he was probably on this level of this endless labyrinth of floors underneath floors and buildings underneath buildings, but I just can't seem to figure out where exactly he'd be, where he'd be safe from the other animatronics, but still able to die. He's in the restaurant, and he just didn't die in the fire. He just died in the restaurant. That's the only other way this could really work. I doubt he'd be outside the restaurant, and since he's technically controlling the narrative of what's going on, you know how Fazbear Entertainment is like kinda in on his plan to take everything out. You know, they're committed to tying up loose ends or whatever. Maybe they just let him die there and hit his body? We know Fazbear Entertainment went inside the wreckage. I mean, there's no way they built an entire pizzaplex above it without actually investigating the location that already existed underneath. Also, they probably got parts for Glitchtrap down there. I mean the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience, which Glitchtrap also was created in. And if we think the Frights books are canon, then that opens an entirely different can of worms with the Man in 1280 being recovered from the fire, and yeah, they've been down there. Trust me, they've been down there. I personally saw it. I was down there too. So anyway, that's besides the point. Point is, I wouldn't put it past Fazbear Entertainment to take part in a absurd and very litigious scheme of arson and potential self-unaliving if it meant saving their brand. What? Fazbear Entertainment doing something shady? Impossible. Also, Henry was kind of the boss, potentially, at this point in time. Maybe. We really don't know anything about Henry's leadership, do we? Anyway, he could have been pulling the strings even if they didn't want to take part in this very logical, sane, and above board plan. Do you think Fazbear Entertainment gets tax write-offs for all their shenanigans? Are they insured? I'm getting off track. Anyway, that's the idea for if Henry just kind of chilled inside the pizzeria itself while carbon monoxide was potentially flooding the place with all the fire underground. Okay, that was a lot of speculation. Where do you think Henry Emily died? It's probably nothing I suggested, but I thought it'd be fun to speculate. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Consider subscribing, so I'm super close to 4,000, and that'd be huge. And I will see you all next time. Bye.